Hi, Bobby from Visual Impact, and you join us here at BSC 2018, where we have come along to the ARRI stand, and not only have we got some brand new lenses in the signature primes, but we have a brand new camera. This is the Alexa LF, and I'm joined by Mark from ARRI, who is the product manager for the Alexa LF, who's going to explain a bit more. Mark, can you tell us a bit more about the Alexa LF, please?
Sure, with pleasure. LF stands for large format, and that is because the sensor in the camera, which I have here, is a large format. It's actually slightly larger than full frame.
Okay.
Full frame is 36 by 24 millimeters. This is 36.7 by 25.54 millimeters. So that's why we're calling it a large format instead of full frame. The camera has a new lens mount that is specifically made for large format lenses. And the lens mount is on this camera, but we also realize that there's other glass out there, existing PL mount lenses, for instance. So there's an adapter that allows me to put existing PL mount lenses also on this camera.
So that's a PL to LPL adapter?
Exactly,
okay.
That's what that is. And then we're also licensing the mount, and by today, we have been told by a number of companies that they want to adapt this mount, including, let me see if I get this together, Angenieux, Cook, Leica, Panavision, ARRI Rental. They all said they're going to use this mount.
Amazing. So we can expect some LPL lenses from those guys as well?
Yes, you should be able to. That then will work with this camera. We're also planning on licensing the mount to other camera manufacturers, and we're not charging a large license fee. We just want to make sure the licenses so we can make sure the quality is there. Absolutely. But we want to make sure this is a standard that everybody can then rely on.
And these lenses will all also include the LDS2 as well?
The ODS2.
Torsten was mentioning...
Oh, yes. The lens mount also supports the LDS2,
okay,
which is our lens data system, supports LDS1, the previous lens data system, and Cook/I.
Okay.
So we try to make sure this thing is backwards and forwards and sideways compatible with everything that's out there, because there's a lot of equipment already out there. We do not want to make that obsolete.
No, absolutely. Can you tell us, what the main difference is between, say, the Alexa 65 and the Alexa LF?
Sure. This camera, the Alexa 65 records ARRI RAW on a sensor that's 3 times as big as Super 35. This camera has a sensor that's twice as big as Super 35, but it can record ARRI RAW as well as ProRes.
Okay, so it will record ProRes on board?
Will record ProRes on board.
Wow.
The Alexa 65 only supports the SXR capture drives. This camera supports SXR capture drives and S/S Pro Plus cards.
Okay.
Because we know this camera will be used for high-end feature films.
Absolutely.
People will shoot ARRI RAW, they'll shoot capture drives, they're going to be very happy. But television series will also want to use this because this is a 4K camera. The sensor is 4.5K, so now we can fulfill the 4K mandate. But television shows don't have as much money as feature films. So the camera can do ProRes, it can do S/S cards, and with the PL adapter, it can also use Super 35 PL lenses on the master primes and the ultra primes starting from around 35 millimeter on. That still covers one of the sensor modes.
That will, okay. Now we touched on ProRes. Can you tell us a bit more about the other resolutions, codecs, etc. that are actually on the camera?
Sure. The camera has ARRI RAW and ProRes. ProRes in 422, 422HQ, 4x4, and 4x4XQ. And the last one that's worth mentioning are 12-bit codecs.
Wow. Okay.
It does the ARRI RAW, it does the ProRes. We support the SXR capture drives and the Pro Medium. And then the rest of the workflow is essentially the same as you have with an Alexa XT. Same workflow, the same tools. We've updated all our tools that support it. And it also uses the same look management. So the same 3D lookup tables, the ARRI Look File 2 that you've been using previously, also work with this camera.
That's great. Now, the camera, was it just to satisfy Netflix, or is there a bit more behind this?
Oh, there is. I think there's 2 demands from the market that led to this camera. One was the huge success of the Alexa 65. That was a huge success, but the 65 is an ARRI rental-only product, and a lot of people came and said, look, we want to buy something like the 65. So that's the one thing. But the other thing is that we needed a 4K camera for the Netflix demand.
Okay. Obviously, Super 35-wise, what settings on the camera are applicable to allow Super 35mm lenses to be used?
Well, you can use the PL to LPL adapter. Then you can put any Super 35 lens on there, full frame as well as Super 35 lenses. And then in Super 35, there's one lens mode called LF 16:9.
Okay.
And that's the smallest area that still is considered 4K, 3840 by 2160 pixels. And the master primes and the ultra primes cover that area from 35 millimeters on. But I've also talked to people recently who shot a test with a 24 to 290 with a 2x extender that covers. I've had people shoot with Nikkors 300 millimeters that covers. So I think we're in a very interesting area now where people are going to experiment with which lens cover. And then the interesting thing is, most people when they talk about lenses, they talk about the image circle. Well, that's the area within which the manufacturer guarantees the image quality. Outside of the image circle, there's still light. The image starts to go wonky a little bit, We don't have guaranteed image quality there, but people really like this. I've talked to a number of DPs who are very much into this now, how the image deteriorates at the edges. And so I think we're going to see a lot of experimentation coming towards us with all kinds of lenses on this camera.
Absolutely. Now, obviously, the most important question, availability. When will we be able to get our hands on this camera?
Well, our engineers were not allowed to go to Christmas this Christmas, so this camera will be available at the end of March, and the lenses should be available in June, the first lenses, and then we'll have more lenses coming along as the months go by.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Mark. And as always, for more information, you can give us a call. Telephone number is 0208 977 1222, or you can jump onto the website www.visuals.co.uk.